Yes, good morning to everybody. Welcome to the All India Bar Examination. That is the 16th court. And today class is Criminal Procedure Code, which I am going to delete. And if you have seen something which I posted on the screen, please read it.
Good morning, sir.
Very morning, madam. Please read what I posted on the screen.
Good morning to everyone. World Meteorology Day, 20th May, World Meteorology Day, the symbol of SL.
Yes, welcome to the 2021 World Meteorology Day Resource website. The theme for the World Meteorology Day 2021 is a measurement for the health. That's the 20th May 2021. This theme was chosen to create the awareness of the important role measurements plays in the health and thus in the well-being of every one of us. Indeed, more widely, meteorology, the science of measurement, plays a central role in the scientific discovery and the innovations, industrial manufacturing and the international trade, in improving the quality of life and in the protecting the global environment. There is a Professor Dr. Muhammad Saib Hussain, and this is the World Meteorological Day as observed in the world. So this I would like to share with you. And another also a slide that I made it out, but before I could go over there, let me go to the directly to our course, that is the All India Bar Examination, that is the 16th Code 2021 Criminal Procedure Code, the MCQ, that is the multiple choice questions. Yes. Can you read the first question, anyone?
Good morning, sir.
Very morning, very morning. Welcome, Ramarao Garu. And I could hear your voice very clearly. Can you read me the first question?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Total how many sections dash are there in the Criminal Procedure Code 1973?
Yes. How many sections are there total in the Criminal Procedure Code of 1973?
D, sir, 484.
It is the 484, the right answer for that one. Appreciate. It's the 484, that is the total sections are there in the Criminal Procedure Code 1973. And 1A, that I had supplemented it. And when CRPC 1973 did came into force, when it come into the force? 1973 CRPC, on which date? April 30th, April 1st, April 2, April 3, of course 1974 is the common.
April 1st, sir,
April 1st, 1974, it came into force, that is the CRPC 1973. And can you tell me who is the architect of the CRPC 1973? Like we can say the father of the IPC. What do you say, the father of the IPC? Yes.
Macaulay.
Full name. See, here I have shown you Thomas Babington Macaulay, which I highlighted you. I think you could see it, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
It is a Thomas Babington Macaulay is no means a historian of England, donor of India. Anyone who knows smattering Indian history should know about the Law Commission. Macaulay was the chairman in 1834, the Indian Penal Code IPC 1860, and the Criminal Procedure Code CRPC 1861. That is the old one. The CRPC is the 1861, but that was repealed over there. The new one is CRPC 1973 now. So it is Thomas Babington Macaulay is an architect, and he did something for the CRPC as well as the IPC. There is a supplementary question to you. Okay, next question is Code of Criminal Procedure 1898, that is the old one, CRPC. Even though the CRPC 1973 repeals the CRPC 1898, legislative changes have not followed in the CRPF Act. There is a CRPF Act is there where the changes is not made, even though it is repealed 1898 and its place 1973 has come. This leaves no option but to read down the Central Reserve Police Force Act. Still it will be continued over there for some time. So now the question comes over there. The CRPF Act, which year? Yes. The Central Police Force Act, this is of course is taken from the Crown Reserve Police Force Act. The act number is it's the C, the Central Reserve Police Force Act of 1949. But later on the feedback is, and however this does not make a palatable the exercise of the judicial power by the commandment of the battalion as CRPC 1973 clearly separate the judiciary from the executive in the line of the Article 50 that mandate this separation. Now that no more interference would be there for this either for the judiciary or the Central Reserve Police Force Act to entertain in the judiciary by the executive, and which made it very much clear in the Article 50 of the Constitution of India. Right. The second schedule, CRPC 1973, forms how many in total number? I say form, there are many forms are there in the CRPC 1973. Among all the forms, how many are total number are there in the second schedule? If you happen to see the Bare Act, you could see the second schedule, how many forms are there. It is roughly, not roughly, exactly D, 56 are there. And here feedback is, form number 1 is summons to an accused person. That is the form number 1. Summons to an accused person. And form number 56 is warrant of imprisonment on forfeiture of the bond of good behavior. Warrant of imprisonment for the forfeiture of the bond for the good behavior. That is the form number 56. Total 56 are there in the second schedule. Is it clear?
Yes,
Say yes, yes. And what is Act of dash CRPC 1973? What is the number of the Act 1973? That CRPC. Because every Act is having its number in the year. Suppose 10, 12, 15, 17, how many years acts are passed in that particular year, this will give the number. So now you tell me the CRPC 1973, what is the number of it? Answer is already I gave in the feedback answer. The Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 Act number 2 of the 1974, that is clearly shows that the B is the right answer, that is the number 2 of the CRPC of 1973, that is the Act. Okay. The first schedule consisting of what? Yes.
The classification of offenses.
It is the classification of the offences is covered, and the first schedule of the, if you happen to see the Bare Act, you could know it, what exactly it is. Yes, let us come to the, how many chapters dash in Criminal Procedure Code 1973? How many chapters are there in the entire the Criminal Procedure Code 1973?
37, sir. C.
C is the answer. X means 10, 10, 10, 30. Then 7. The 37 chapters are there under the Criminal Procedure Code 1973. Yes. Now the chapter 10, 10, 12. In that 32, execution, suspension, remission, and commutation of sentences. Correct or right sequence. What is the right sequence in that one? In the chapter. See, A, I made the levy of fine, death sentence, imprisonment, general provisions regarding the execution and suspensions, remissions, and the commutation of the sentences. So, B, I also gave the sequence. But what is exactly the right sequence would be there in A, B, C, D under the...
C, death sentences.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Number 1, death sentences. Number 2, imprisonment. Next, levy of fine. Next, general provisions regarding the execution. Next, suspension, remission, and the commission of the sentences. That is the right sequence which is given under the chapter 32. Yes, if you see the feedback I have given, A, death sentences. B, imprisonment. C, levy of the fines. D, general provision regarding execution. E, suspension, remission, and the commutation of sentences. This is the right sequence is followed over there. Sometimes the question may be asked, what is the right sequence would be followed at that instance that you have to see it. Like, you cannot reap the harvest unless you sow it. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
First, what you have to do it?
I have to plow it.
You have to plow it, you have to sow the seed, then the sapling comes, then it will be grown, then lastly, you can harvest it.
Harvest. Yes, sir.
Yes. And the sixth question is CRPC 1973 is a dash for conducting the criminal trial in India, including the manner for collection of the evidence, examination of the witnesses, interrogation of the accused, arrest, safeguards, and a procedure to be adapted by the police and courts, bail, process of the criminal trials, method of convictions, and the right of the accused for the fair trial. The procedure for a criminal trial in India is primarily, except as otherwise provided, governed by the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Now you can say, is it an exhaustive and comprehensive procedural law? B. Exhaustive procedural law and comprehensive. C. Comprehensive and exhaustive procedural law. D. Comprehensive and exhaustive substantial law. What is the correct answer for the
Comprehensive and
ABC?
exhaustive procedure law, sir.
Which one is the A, B, C? D.
C, sir.
C is exactly the point. There is a comprehensive and exhaustive procedural law is the Criminal Procedure 1973 for the speedy trial in the criminal trials, we will say, yes. And the cognizable offences or cases has been defined under the dash of the CRPC 1973 is an offence or a virgule case in which a police office can arrest without a warrant. Under which section?
2A. Yes, sir.
The answer is section 2C.
C, sir. C, sir.
That is the C is the answer. That is section 2 class C is the right answer, where a police officer without a warrant can arrest a person. Yes. On a complaint, virgule reporting, virgule knowledge of the commission of the cognizable offence, any police officer, even without the orders of the magistrate, can investigate the cognizable case under the section dash of CRPC 1973. Without the order of the magistrate, for the cognizable offences, even a police officer could investigate it. And what is the section says about it?
Section 156.
Section 156, 1 of the CRPC.
Yes, sir.
It is the section 156, 1 of the CRPC clearly says over there, the cognizable offence, any police officer, even without the order of the magistrate, can investigate the cognizable case under the section of the CRPC 1973, right? In case of non-cognizable offence, and I am sure that you know what is cognizable offence and what is non-cognizable offence, which is clearly given in the CRPC under the schedules. Yes, in case of the non-cognizable offence, police is not obliged to investigate, and the judicial process can be started by filing a criminal complaint before the competent court under dash of the CRPC 1973. Which section says?
This is
Non-cognizable offence I am speaking.
section 190, sir.
It is a section 190 clearly says that the CRPC where the police is not obliged to investigate and the judicial process can be started by filing a criminal complaint before the competent court under the 190 of the CRPC 1973. Next, the standard of evidence for a criminal conviction is guilt dash less than 100% certainty but more than high probability. If there is a doubt based on reason, the accused is entitled to be acquitted. That is the, in other words, what you can say in the criminal trials, beyond the
Reasonable doubt.
yes, appreciate, beyond the reasonable doubt. And saying is there, I think it's the saying of, forget the name, Blackstone or somebody. Let the 99 convicts will be acquitted, but one innocent cannot be convicted. That is said to be the beyond the reasonable doubt. So here the point is beyond a reasonable correction, beyond an unreasonable doubt, or beyond a reasonable doubt, or beyond a reasonable clarification. Which one is the correct answer in, among the A, B, C, D? Beyond a reasonable doubt, that is a C.
Yes.
A, B, C. That the C is the answer for that beyond a reasonable doubt. That is that.
Sir.
Yes. Next, 11th question is, who dash stated it? It is better 100 guilty persons should be escaped than one innocent person should suffer. Who said? Just before I told
This
you.
is Benjamin Franklin, sir.
It is a Benjamin Franklin. That is under the ABCD, which is the right correct Benjamin Franklin spelling.
C, sir, C.
C is the right answer. Benjamin Franklin. BENJAMIN space FRANKLIN. That is a Benjamin Franklin. And do you know that even that now the adhesive stamps or non-judicial stamps will not be available. Then the people go to the Franklin machine. Are you following me?
Sir.
There we can say, sir, how much you want it? Sir, 20 rupees. Okay. In the Franklin machine, they will make it out and they will make the 20 and they will charge you at least some commission for it. It's printing and service charges. Yes. Which dash of the CRPC 1973 says about the public prosecutor? In which section it is says that public prosecutors?
This is C, sir, section 24.
It is section 24 clearly says the CRPC 1973 about the public prosecutor. Of course, there is the assistant public prosecutors also there. Okay, let us see that which section dash says when police may arrest without warrant under the CRPC 1973. I say without warrant.
Without warrant.
A police may arrest.
Section 41, sir, maybe.
It is section 41 clearly says that when police may arrest without a warrant under the CRPC 1973 because offence is such a cognizable where they need not to take the permission from the court, it will take the delay of the time and hence they can make the investigation, see that things should come into the picture. And the culprit will not be scot-free or he run away from the scenario. Next, which dash procedure of arrest and duties of the officer making arrest? Every police officer while making an arrest shall under the CRPC 1973. And what section should they have to follow it before they are making any arrest?
Section 41B, sir.
It is a section 41B is the answer for that one where the police officer and making the arrest and while making arrest shall follow that section. Can a woman will be arrested in the night?
No, sir.
No, sir. Before sunset.
There is a timings are there clearly mentioned over there. Suppose if she will be arrested in the regular timings, she will be arrested by a woman police officer. What about the pregnant woman?
Pregnant woman also not supposed to.
You have to take the permission from the government doctor whether she can be arrested, because if any complications would be there for her for the gynecological consultancy, then the problem would be there.
Yeah.
Of course, they will be under supervision of it, like you can say the house arrest.
Yeah.
So now next, inherent power of the high courts provided in the section 482 CRPC may be utilized to quash the criminal proceedings instituted after a great delay or with the vengeful or malified motives. Thus, it is the constitutional duty of this court to quash the criminal proceedings that were instituted by misleading the court and abusing its process of law. Only with a view to harass the helpless litigants was observed in the case. In which case law it is made where the frivolous cases are filed over there and consuming the court time and wasting the time of the police as well as the court. So they said the case law name is Krishnanal Chawla and others versus State of UP and another. In this case law it is clearly mentioned. When there is a vengeful and malified motives would be there is the constitutional duty of the court to quash the criminal proceedings, and that were instituted by misleading the court and abusing the process of law only with a view to harass the helpless litigants and observed in the case of Krishnanal Chawla and others versus State of UP and another. That is the case law. Next, Section 438 of the CRPC 1973. Direction for the grant of bail to a person apprehending arrest. Allegations in the FIR on the High Court to consider the quashing the petition in accordance with the law on its own merits and considering the aforestated observation made by this court in the present judgment of. So, on this allegation in the FIR, where the High Court to consider the quashing the petition. It is observed in the case of R.P. Kapoor versus State of Punjab. It is observed the same way, and State of Telangana versus Habib Abdullah Jilani also it is happened the same way, and Nehrika Infrastructure Private Limited versus State of Maharashtra and others. That means all of the above is the right answer. If it is a allegation in the FIR, at that instance, we can quash the petition over there. If it is in a proper manner, it is not there. At that instance, they observed in all of the cases that it can be quashed, apprehending the arrest. That is the allegation in the FIR and the High Court to consider the quashing the petition according with the law and its own merits and considering the aforestated observation made by this court in the present judgments. So, in those judgments, it can quash if the FIR is not properly made over there. Next, a Criminal Procedure Code 1973, Section 156, Clause 3 and 406, Indian Penal Code 1860, Section 420 Trademarks Act of 1999 and Section 103 Dispute over Trademarks. Then, transfer of criminal cases pending in the Salem Court to the Patiala House of Court, New Delhi, on the ground that the criminal case similar to the suit decided in the case of. So, this is another case law where many sections are involved over there, and the transfer of the criminal case pending in Salem Court to Patiala. They changed it from the Salem Court to the Patiala, the High Court, and the Patiala House Court, the New Delhi. Patiala House Court, not Patiala Court. Patiala House Court is there in the New Delhi, on the ground that the criminal case similar to the suit decided in the case of, it is said, Rajkumar Sabu versus Mr. Sabu Trade Private Limited, where such an action is taken into consideration from Salem Court to the House of Patiala, that is the New Delhi Court. Next, the Karnataka High Court has said that right to claim bail under the Criminal Procedure Code CRPC becomes circumscribed when an accused repeatedly commits a bailable offences. Justice Srinivas Harish Kumar said, a person being on bail in relation to a bailable offence cannot as a matter of a right. Which section says?
This is sir, section 436.
It is a section 436. Bail is not a right. It is the discretion of the court. Yes. Arrest under the criminal law, that is the CRPC 1973. Who, when, why, and how. In every arrest there is a custody, but not vice versa. Custody may amount to an arrest, but not under all circumstances. The word arrest is terrifying for a lay person, but for lawyers it is just a legal connotation of a forcible restraint. Arrest is not defined dash, but the dictionary meaning of the arrest is the taking or keeping of a person in. So, now the question comes where it is not defined. Under the IPC 1860 or any other act, or under the CRPC or any other CPC act, or under the CPC or any other act, or the D under CPC or any other act. Then the answer is, it is under CRPC or any other act, arrest is not defined. It is only we can take the actional aids, that is the dictionary meaning. Next, the Gujarat High Court has ruled that any person can be arrested for any offence under the Customs Act 1962 by the custom officer. If such officer has a reason to believe that such a person has committed an offence punishable under the section 132 of the false declaration, false documentation, etc., or section 133, that is the obstruction of the officer of customs, or section 135, evasion of the duty or prohibition on a customs DRI officers empowered to arrest even on the suspicion of smuggling dash norms for making arrest. That is the Gujarat High Court decided. Not obliged to IPC, not obliged to CPC, not obliged to CRPC, and not obliged to Customs Act 1962.
This is C, sir, not obliged to.
It is not obliged to the CRPC norms for making the arrest. That is the appropriate wording should be used over there. Next case law. Criminal Procedure Code 1973. Section 320, which clearly says amicable settlement or compromise between the parties. A relevance of reduce the quantum of sentence of the convicts, even a serious non-compoundable offences. See here clearly mentioned, in serious non-compoundable offences. Unequal language of the section 320 and clause 9 expressly prohibits any compounding except as permitted under section 320. Notwithstanding thereto, fact of amicable settlement or compromise between the parties can be relevant factor for purpose of reduction in quantum of the sentences of the convicts, even in a serious non-compoundable offences was observed in the case of. So here in some of the cases, there the we can say the compoundable, non-compoundable offences can be made over there. Means a compromise can be done over there. But in certain cases only, that was observed in the case of the Murali versus State. In that case law, it is observed, yes, that is notwithstanding the two fact of amicable settlement or compromise between the parties can be relevant factor for purpose of reduction in the quantum of sentences of the conviction, even a serious non-compoundable offences was observed in the case of Murali versus State. But generally, in the criminal law, there is no settlement or compromise. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Of course, in the check bounce cases are concerned, or some other like divorce cases are concerned, maintenance is concerned, and because maintenance is also criminal, what is a criminal proceeding should be there for the maintenance under the CRPC. CRPC
125.
125.
Sir, we
Yes.
see nowadays
Yes.
there is some compromise between parties even in criminal case.
Yeah, that is the reason that they have shown over there. In certain circumstances, it can be compromised. They said, but the nature of the offence you should say, like rape, can you compromise? Murder, can you compromise? Dacoity, can you compromise? Riots, can you compromise?
If the compromise is done indirectly, sir, not producing proper evidence, that will be settled outside.
See, that is the deficiency.
At the fag end of this trial,
Yes.
both parties compromise and some compensation they will give, and the evidences will be weakened.
The witness become hostile, sir.
The point here again, the criminal jurisprudence clearly says over there. See, not only the person should be, who is a preponderance of this offence, would be punished behind the bar, but a victim should be compensated also. That is the criminal jurisprudence, they will make it out. At that instance, if that fellow will undergone some of the, what I say, jail, later on he has compensated to the victim. At that instance, after the jail period is over there, he will be released. Means the punishment period is over there. In certain cases, it will happen over there, but in most of the cases, if it becomes an hostile, as our Sri Vidya told, at that instance, we cannot do anything. So here, it is clearly mentioned in the criminal procedure code that the machinery for the investigation of the crime, where we are, yes, that is the case law. The second is the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 came into force, okay, dash, it will also give a machinery for the investigation of a crime, harm of criminals, collection of the evidence, determination of the mens rea or innocence of the accused, and also the determination of the punishment of the guilty. It also deals with the public nuisance and prevention of the offences and maintenance of the wife, children and parents. And this is the one where it is clearly mentioned, which came into the force, I told you. When it is came into the force, 1973.
34, sir.
That is the 1st April. That is the 1st April 1974, which already I made very much clear. And that is the aim and the ambitions are the object of the Criminal Procedure Act, why it is promulgated and what actually it wants to do for the criminals. So now, how many times Dash Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 amended, latest by Criminal Procedure Code 1973, how many times it is amended?
13 times.
13 times, 14 times, 15 times, 16 times.
13 times.
16 times, sir.
It is 16 times it is amended. See, here I have given the list of amendment in Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. So I made the Code of Criminal Procedure Amendment Act of 1978, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, then 15. The last one is, that is the 16th, which I am highlighting here. Yes, read, which I highlighted there.
Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018.
Yes, that is the 2018, which is the latest amendment for that one. See, whenever you say the Criminal Amendment, Criminal Law Amendment Act, whenever you say that word, such a thing, does it mean that only criminal procedure could be amended?
Total criminal laws.
No, sir.
IPC.
It happens in 3. That
Three
is
are there. What are the sequence?
called evidence and IPC.
Sequence I want. The right sequence. First IPC, next CRPC,
CRPC evidence.
and the last one is evidence. And these three are called, and these are three are called,
Trio of
trio we can say, criminal major acts. That is the wording that you can use. Because always these three acts will be in one compendium, in one volume. Let us see the criminal, yes, the Code of Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2013. In the case of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, following sections were amended, like section 26, 54, 54A, so and so, so and so, so forth. And also the first schedule of the code under which number dash amendment, in which amendment, these are all the amendments who are taken place. Whether it is 12th amendment, 13th amendment, 14th amendment, or 15th amendment of the criminal
15th
procedure.
amendment.
It is the 14th amendment where all these sections are amended over there, inserted over there. It is the 14th amendment of the Criminal Law Amendment Act where it is clearly mentioned. Yes, next. What is the first schedule of the CRPC? CRPC Schedule 1. That is the first schedule. In the schedule, the expression magistrate first class and any magistrate include the metropolitan magistrate, but dash, the word cognizable stand for a police officer may arrest without a warrant. So what is the dash magistrate but executive magistrate, non-judicial magistrate, not executive magistrate, or not first class magistrate?
Not executive magistrate, sir.
Not executive magistrate. Say the metropolitan magistrate, but not. Who is an executive magistrate?
District collector.
District collectors and even assistant collector. Even sometimes no, even the Tahsildar also will be act as a magistrate. MRO. Yes, yes. Even a land record, of course, now the land record is no more because it is given to the Tahsils now, MRO. Okay, let us see next. Which is the latest, the Criminal Amendment Act, dash to CRPC 1973. It is a 2018. I already told you in the beginning also that I made the new amendment which came to the 2018. Next, both the center and the state can amend the CRPC as the procedural law falls dash. This is not the first time.
Concurrent list.
Yes, it is the procedural code always it is in the concurrent list. That means both the state as well as the
Center.
center is having. What about the pandemic? Now the Disaster Management Act was there and the Central Government Act, and where it is a health is a state government. But when the majority of the things will be suffered over there, then the center will come to the rescue of the states.
Yes.
Then can you say that is a concurrent list? Yes, the pandemic we can consider it. What do you say? Of course, health comes under the state list, no doubt at all. But when the Disaster Management Act was there, that the 2005, if I not be mistaken over there. Of course, there is a clinical act also be there, but I don't know exactly because Kavati Srinivas Rao has given me that description. Yes, yes.
It is the center. Has to take state and center.
Both will come under the pandemic.
Yeah.
Any chronic diseases are concerned, pandemic diseases are concerned, then the central will definitely help the state. Otherwise, the state is helpless.
It is helpless and it spreads to other states. That's why center should interfere always.
Okay. Now I understood. When the pandemic matter comes, it automatically it will both the central government as well as state government will play a role over there. Next.
It
Yes,
is an
please.
act of God.
Oh, of course, in the act of God. Yeah, the central will come to the first rescue because central is having the deep pocket theory. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let us come to the compensation to the persons groundlessly and arrested by the virtue of dash of the CRPC in 1973. Compensation to the persons groundlessly arrested by the virtue of. Suppose if a person is arrested without any proper ground, then he should be compensated under section 358. Under 358 that he should be compensated. The court also said that the enactment on transgender right was one intended to give effect to the rights guaranteed to such persons under dash of the constitution. It has to be borne in mind when considering the cases of this nature. So what is should have to keep in the mind when the transgender rights are there? Article 13, 15, 19 and 21 or Article 14, 16, 19 and 21? Article 14, 15, 19 and 21?
14, 15, 19, 21.
It is the exact sequence is Article 14, 15, 19 and 21 is the proper method for the transgender rights are concerned, which is nothing but the C is the right answer. The court said that the fact that NCC Act does not recognize the third gender and the detailed guidelines are to be introduced for the integration of the people belonging to the third gender into the NCC cannot be justification for the denying entry to the petitioner. I believe that whether or no. The Dr. Sabir, are you there in the NCC when you are studying? Or Sharad Babu? Or Srividya? Or anyone?
I was in the ACC, sir. Not
Acha,
NCC.
ACC you are. Of course, I joined the NCC, but I had not reached to that, what do you say, ABC. There is a certificates are there.
Yes.
Of course, on the certificate also you can get the reservation
Which is there, sir.
for your study as well as your employment.
Yes, sir.
So now the question comes over there. Whether the third gender, that is the transgender, will be eligible for the NCC Act or not. So ruling that denial of the enrollment in the NCC is unsustainable. The court said that the petitioner is entitled to participate in the selection process and to be enrolled in the NCC if dash a student of the university college in the Thiruvananthapuram is successful. Who is she and where her denial was there for the NCC? Hanifa.
Is it?
Hina Hanifa. Hina, Hanifa, because the spelling I made a different way. The answer is C.
C, sir.
Hina, Hina, space Hanifa, Hanneefa. Hina Hanifa, she applied for the NCC, but she was denied. Then she approached the court, and the court has given the direction. Yes, even though she is a transgender, and she will be allowed to get admitted in the NCC, even though NCC Act will not agree to that one. Next. Under the section 497 of the Indian Penal Code IPC, adultery was an offence, and a convict could be sentenced to the 5 years jail term. Section defined adultery as an offence committed by a man against a married man if the former engaged in the sexual intercourse with the relator's wife. The law had come to under the sharp criticism for the treating women as a possession of man. An Italy-based Indian businesswoman, Italian-based Indian businesswoman actually, yes, and who hails from the Kerala, filed a public interest litigation last year challenging the IPC 497, which is adultery. And it is not he, whether he or she is.
He, sir. Joseph Shiny.
Yes, it is a Joseph Stein. She filed a case law regarding the 497 is unconstitutional. So, who filed the case is Joseph Stein case law, and the full case law name is Joseph Stein versus Union of India. That is the public interest litigation. Next, first Supreme Court judgment. Adultery, the law came under the challenge in 1951. In the Dash case, petitioner contended that the adultery law violated the fundamental right of the equality guaranteed under the Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution. On which case law it is made? I say, all the above cases like Yusuf Aziz versus State of Bombay, Swamitri Vishnu versus Union of India, V. Revati versus Union of India, all of the above cases where it is clearly mentioned over there adultery is against Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution. This is the earlier decision before the decision of the Joseph Stein versus Union of India. Supreme Court has given the decision. So in where we have Chandrachud also there. In such a case, the wife shall not be punished as the abettor. This section came under the purview of the court many times, also been discussed in the Supreme Court, held it valid. Supreme Court on the 27th September 2018, in the case of the Joseph Stein versus Union of India, has brought down the 150-year-old of Victorian morality law on the adultery. The growth of the concept of the adultery in this era well discussed in the judgment. As discussed in the relic of the Victorian morality, this control over the sexual agency of the spouse views the wife as the property of the husband. Fidelity of the woman or the husband control over it is maintaining the property instead of the husband in his life. So what is the present position of the adultery? 497.
Adultery is a ground for divorce.
It is a ground for the divorce. Now we can make it out. Can you get the compensation? Answer no.
Compensation.
Yes. Practicing pleader not to sit as a magistrate in a certain court. I repeat. Practicing pleader not to sit as a magistrate in a certain court. No pleader who practices in the court of any magistrate shall sit as a magistrate in that court or in any court within the local jurisdiction of the court was clearly stated under the section of the CRPC of 1973. Which section says? It is a section 480. A person who is a practicing and a pleader, and he should not sit as a magistrate in a certain court.
How can he sit, sir? How can he sit until he is appointed?
Now the question comes over here is, he is a practicing pleader. When you say the practicing pleader, he is a judicial officer. Now, see, even an advocate also a judicial, he is come under the under the employ of the judicial officers. Do you agree? Not
I don't
exactly
disagree,
employee, not exactly employee, but they will say that.
but the appointment should be made by the government or some upper court.
Yeah, if it is allowed, can he sit as a magistrate? Then the question comes over there. But here they say, according 480, the court was clearly stated under the section 480 CRPC 93. That means a magistrate shall sit as a magistrate in that court or any other court within the local jurisdiction of the court was clearly stated over there. Then I don't think that how it can be possible over there. Can an advocate defend his own case? Answer is yes. What do you say?
Yes, he can defend, but not as an advocate.
On behalf of somebody else that he will be defended?
Yes, somebody will defend him.
Suppose if he says, sir, I want to defend my case only with the permission of the magistrate or a judge.
No, sir, it is not possible.
Yeah. I think it is a bit, let us see, because 33 question is a little controversial.
How can he give wakalat to his own name? Because wakalat should be submitted.
Yeah, the wakalatnama should be there. That's true. The wakalatnama should be there. That means on behalf of him, somebody will argue his own case.
Yes.
Okay, let us see that 33 question is in abeyance because it is a bit, even myself also could not follow in a proper manner. Let me skip it, then go to the next. What the dash says about the classification of offences. Which schedule says the classification of offences, which I already made it very much clear.
First schedule,
First schedule clearly says that the classification of the offences. Then the last question that I would like to deal is 35 is because the rest of the things we will deal it in the next class. The Ministry of Home Affairs has also sought a suggestion from the states, union territories, Supreme Court, High Court, Bar Council of India, Bar Council of States, and various other universities and law institutes dash in criminal laws on spontaneous amendments, on synthesizing amendments, on comprehensive amendments, on conclusive amendments. They will take the opinion of all the stakeholders on comprehensive amendments. They will take the Ministry of Home Affairs, take the state, union territory, Supreme Court, High Court, Bar Council of India, Bar Council of State, and various other universities, and including the law institutions, also there for the in criminal laws amendment are concerned, which is on comprehensive amendments. So now the question comes over there because now time is approaching and I would like to show you something. Then already I told you that this is the thing which I already posted to you. CRPC criminal procedure, at least I did it 30, no, I did 35 roughly, and marks are total in total 10 marks, and today is the 20th, the 25, 2021, and today class is over. And tomorrow, then the rest of the part 2, I will be in the CRPC, and please read it and come to the class. Let us see that how best we can make it out. And the last class is on Saturday. That is a law related to taxation. That is, I prepared at least 25 to 30 MCQs, and who's carry the 4 marks. That is the Saturday.